welcome to Team Talk. The festive season has come and gone and Lincoln City are still very much in the promotion mix. There's been a few comings and goings at Sincilbank too, and Saturday's 2-2 draw with Notts County was full of talking points as well. So there's much to discuss with BBC Radio Lincolnshire's Sue Whitaker and Mark Whiley from the Lincolnshire Echo. So let's start with Saturday's match, which had just about everything, Mark.
Yeah, it was quite an occasion really, right from before kick-off, that stunning mosaic as the players came out onto the pitch. The first 30 minutes was a bit of a non-event, but once County took the lead, it was just, it really was an event-filled encounter, and it's that goal seemed to wake City up. We of course had Danny Cowley been sent to the stands. Lots of chances have been created by Lincoln and they really should have won the game, but it shows how far the club has come, that the fact that they're disappointed not to have beaten the team that's second in the league.
Something we've never seen before at home anyway at Sincilbank, Danny Cowley being sent to the stands. I thought we were going to have a bit of an Arsene Wenger moment. You know, when he stands at Old Trafford, where do you want me to sit? Because it was a sellout crowd at Sincilbank and there seemed to be nowhere for him to sit. So he came up and sat in the press box with us, Sue.
He did, and I've never seen Danny Cowley quite like that. I mean, to say he was angry was an understatement. He stormed past us in the press and stood right at the back, and then we could hear everything he was shouting. They did mic him up, and I've got to say, I feel very sorry for Nicky, who I presume he was talking to, because I don't think he needed a mic. He was so loud. I mean, Nicky's ears must have been blasted. But
and he blocked your view with the first goal as well.
He did, and I nearly had to tell him to get out the way. I was going, sit down, and then I couldn't see who had passed it because he was stood, and he nearly missed it. He spun round just to see it just in time.
You can understand why he was annoyed at the referee for most of that match, though, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean, the ref just completely lost control of the game. I think for a game like that between two top side, two local rivals, you need a strong referee, and unfortunately Ross Joyce was anything but. It's a hard job. I sympathise with referees. It's not easy. I certainly wouldn't want to do it, but you need a strong referee. And the trouble is, Danny was already frustrated by the time he made his way up to the back of the stands, and he was even more frustrated as the game progressed. A lot of the key decisions seemed to go against Lincoln. I suppose we would say that we're a bit biased, but I think there was two very strong penalty shouts just before half time, possibly another one in the second half as well. And it was just a very frustrating performance from the referee. But for me, it didn't detract from the game. It was a fantastic game to watch and a good advert for League Two.
And there was, of course, that Ollie Palmer goal in stoppage time when I thought that Lincoln had won it, and then the referee disallowed that for a foul as well. I've seen the highlights, and that looks a bit dubious too, Sue.
I know. When you've had two what we thought were penalties not given, and then you have a goal disallowed. And again, I was like you, I was celebrating. I was out of my seat, and I have watched it back and again. You've just got to shake your head, and sometimes you have games like that, but very frustrating. I thought we'd got it. I thought we'd nicked it just at the end.
Well, as you'd expect, Imps manager Danny Cowley was frustrated with the referee's performance.
There's three major decisions that go against us, and they're game changers. There's the first goal, which is just a blatant trip on Sam Habergan, which he doesn't see, and I was disappointed because it felt to me that after Kevin Nolan had strong words and the referee had come over after about 15 minutes, there was a run of six fouls that all went to them. And it felt, as a consequence, that I needed to try to level it up and try to get a foothold back in the game and a bit of a level playing field. But I didn't say too much, but obviously, it was a foul, and they're big moments. I have to say credit to the players, because I thought the way that we responded off of the back of it, I thought the resilience and the resolve that we showed, obviously, to find the goal so quickly, I hadn't even got to me seat.
Taking aside the referee's performance and focusing on the game, it was still one that Lincoln had chances to win and probably should have won, though.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Green had a lot of chances apart from his goal. I mean, credit to him because he's always getting in position for those chances. He's a real poacher. And he probably would have expected to take a few more of those chances, but he took the goal that he did score very well. And the Imps look full of goals at the moment, which we were saying on this show a couple of months ago, it was a real problem. But Green and Reid in great form, and I do think we'll see at least one striker come in at some point this month. The squad's just looking really strong at the moment.
Yeah, we about this time last month we were discussing these attacking areas and the lack of goals from Lincoln's forwards, and Reid and Green are really answering their critics, and of course Ollie Palmer scored against Rochdale in the Checker Trade Trophy too last week.
That's it. The goals are coming from many different areas, which is exactly what you want to see in a team. And apart from the goals, the chances we're having and creating, again, from all different areas, just a few more of those chances need putting away, and no complaints.
It's been a good festive period on the whole though for Lincoln, hasn't it? Taking aside the defeat to Luton, a game which they could have won really as well had they maybe had 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah, I think if you'd offered us 7 points from those 4 games over the Christmas period, you definitely would have taken that. Good point at Newport, very hostile place to go. Good win over Stevenage, and it was a real tough game against Forest Green in the end. And then Luton, as you say, it could have gone either way. I mean, Lincoln were the better team for the first 20 minutes of the second half. I think Luton's extra quality just told in the end, but Lincoln have really acquitted themselves well against Luton and Notts County, who have been the 2 best teams in the league so far this season, as the table demonstrates. So I don't think we can be any happier with the way it's going at the minute.
And so would it be fair to say that not just playoffs are a possibility, but automatic promotion as well, especially that 3rd place spot?
I think it's in our reach. I think it's going to be so tight. Whoever has a good run-in is going to get that place. You look at, it's a difficult league, but those top places, so tight. But yes, a possibility.
Signings can be vital, and new signings Lee Frecklington and Jordan Williams started Saturday's match, and Danny Cowley was pleased with their performances.
We've made a brilliant start to the season. We couldn't get the players that we wanted to in the summer, so we stayed really patient. We've had a great week off the pitch in terms of making our team significantly better, and now we've got to try to bed those players in, get them on method, and develop the relationships and get everybody understanding how we can play well collectively going forward, and that's the challenge, I think that's really exciting.
Well, it was fairy tale stuff with Frecklington scoring on his return mark.
Yeah, typical Lee Frecklington goal, breaking into the box, great finish, and that's been his trademark over the years. He did it so many times for Lincoln and for Rotherham and Peterborough over the years. It's terrific to see him back, and just the celebrations in the ground, and looking at some great pictures of the celebrations of that goal this morning, and hopefully, and I think we will see plenty more of that between now and the end of the season. Absolutely fantastic sign, and a player of championship quality, not just League One quality, and like a few of the players that have been brought in, so it really bodes well for the rest of the season.
And so you just knew he was going to score. It was in the script. Everything seems to have gone to the script since the Cowleys took over at Sincilbank.
I know, it was like a dream come true, wasn't it? Walking out at Sincilbank in front of a packed stadium, wearing his number 19 shirt, scores a corking goal. The only thing that went wrong was we didn't win the game. Apart from that, absolute dream.
Well, Frecklington says he's excited to be back at Sincilbank.
If you'd asked me at that moment, I think a lot of people say never go back. But as you get older, I've got a family now, and I think it just felt right to kind of finish the story coming home. I know there's not much romance in football, but for me, this kind of felt like the perfect, I don't want to say end, because I still feel like I've got a lot to offer, but it just felt like a great opportunity to come back, especially with the way the club's going, and I felt like I really wanted to be part of it.
So we've seen Danny Cowley make some signings already. Going forward, should we expect some more, especially in the attacking areas, Mark?
I think we'll see a striker come in. Overall, I think we'll see perhaps a couple of signings come in. Danny did talk about bringing in 2 central defenders. Obviously, he's brought one in, James Wilson, who was on the bench on Saturday. There's still a possibility that Sean Raggett could come back. He played for Norwich on Saturday, which means if he comes out on loan again, he can only come to Lincoln, so it's possibly good news. Before this weekend against Barnet, I'm not sure. Possibly one, but I think we'll see a couple more signings at least before the end of the month. So
maybe a week of calm after last week.
Oh, I don't think you ever get a week of calm with the Cowleys, do you? Who knows? Like Mark, I do think we'll have 1, if not 2, more signings. But a week of calm, I think that's asking a bit too much.
Right, well that's it for this week's show. Thanks to Sue and Mark for joining me. We'll be back again next week to reflect on Lincoln's game against Barnet and probably discuss transfers again too. Until then, goodbye.